Hello and welcome to B&D, and you may just recognise what I'm wearing from another video, or you may not, depending on how I put these up. But when you see another video, you'll know that I've done it at the same time. Now, I thought I should, since I did my 5-6 days at the very start, which I used my phone to record, I came back fully dressed, not like this, but I came back and came home, and I took steps. When I got closer to home, I had a hood and I put it over to hide my hair, not this hair. So I came back and I spent the rest of the night as D as well, until the next morning. Then I had to go out and with that I didn't do any video for the final day, mostly because I left after 10 o'clock by the time I put some makeup on and got everything into the car, which was a little later than I normally, but I planned to get back at around the 7 o'clock mark. Then there would be less people around to see me in my wig and all of my things, and hopefully there would be no kids out, and that's what happened. There wasn't anyone out, so I managed to get things out the car and get in without anyone seeing me dressed like this. But I thought that the first video was me looking like a dog's dinner, and you would say, you went out looking like that, and I'm going, yeah, I went out looking like that. Mostly because the lighting in where I was, and the shadows and how much light there was, didn't show the makeup off strong enough that I could physically see the makeup all that well. And in the mirror, it looked fine, except when you then go to a phone which has higher megapixels and pick out every single colour you've got in your face. So that then made me look more like a dog's dinner, and I realised that I looked like a dog's dinner, which is a great benefit. That I didn't think I looked completely fine, but nobody said anything. I just looked like an older person who put on far too much makeup, and there is people like that, so I blended in. But my second day out, I cut down how much I put on. I started working out that maybe my foundation that I was putting on maybe a little too thickly, and it was a little too dark for my skin tone. So I got and used some lighter to try and make it look a little better. And I think my makeup on the second day was better than my makeup on the first day. So, and we kept going out, and wasn't the second day. I don't remember now, because it's like 3 weeks later, or even 4 weeks later from the time that I did my first go out, and I still felt comfortable being out, and no one said anything, even though on the final day when I was coming back on a different time, but we'll get to that. So, I think I should tell you about that. I dressed as normal me, but then am I not normal right now? Don't know, but normal male me. I picked up my daughter, and it was the school holidays, so I went, and she wanted to go back up to the caravan, and Mummy didn't want to come up to the caravan. So I took her up to the caravan, and I was nervous the whole way up. I was dressed as male me, and I was nervous because I wanted to dress like female me. And with that, I was trying to work out the whole of the time coming up, and trying to drop hints virtually all the way going up of that, you know. We went into charity shops and I started saying things like, what do you think I would look like in this? And, you know, not say, she didn't say a word. But we got to where we were going and she went in her room and she said, what's been going on in my room? What's this powder? And, well, that was my face powder that I on purpose didn't clean up, I would think. I just took everything that was makeup out the room and left her room as it should be. So I then went in her room and said we were going to have a slightly different holiday, which puzzled her no end, and I'm trying to work out how to break this to her and how she's going to react to it. Now, I am going to say to you right now that I knew my daughter would take it fine to a point. She would find it weird. Now, who wouldn't? But I imagined that she wasn't going to shout at me, laugh at me, and say anything negative. That's just my daughter. And so I knew how that she would be a little more accepting of me dressing like this. So I went and put my short wig on. I came back in and she looked and just still puzzled on what. And I said that I wanted and should I go and dress a little more. And so I went away and I put my top on and my leather skirt, which you might have seen when I walked into this shot. And I came back in. She was a little taken aback, but there wasn't anything negative said. I said that I will look better with some makeup on and that we will go out tomorrow and I will be dressed like this. And she can see that no one really says anything, no one comments, no one notices. And I said, just come out. Don't have to walk with us, you can walk behind us. Just come out and I will show you that. So the next morning I got dressed up and we went out. And that was technically the first time I'd been out with somebody else who knew who I really was, but didn't actually say anything. We were out for a good 3-4 hours because it was a bit tiring getting there and she didn't want to be out for too long. So I said, right, well, if we just go out for a short time, we'll just go and stop off at a few places. So we did that. We went into charity shops and she started looking physically for clothes for me on the shelves. And getting her to look for clothes even for herself is an impossibility because she's that fussy on what she wants to wear. But she started looking for clothes to me and I said, well, it has to be this size or this size, and that's all it is. So you don't have to spend ages looking at things, because if it's not going to fit us, then there's no point looking at it. So we spend the 9 days of the holiday with me dressed like D 24/7. I went to bed and I slept in my night things that I have. Every day I would be the first one up because she's a lazy bugger and doesn't get out of bed until she's told, and she would stop in bed till 1 o'clock in the afternoon if she could get away with it. There was a day that she didn't want to go out, and it was a Sunday, and I'm going, well, I'm going to go and charge the car up, so I'm going to go out. And I'm going, well, you're fine by yourself. So I went out and I ended up at Air, which is not a good choice because it's quite large and busy. But I walked to get in and then I had to walk to get back out again, which took up about 50 minutes to walk in from where I had the car on charge. And I went around Air, I looked at what was open, and then I finished off, and this is how it ended up being a little weird. I went to, I think it was a TK Maxx, and it's off to one side there, and this woman was coming towards us with a pram. She stopped and then she stared at me, but I took no notice and I just kept walking. And her eyes never left me the whole of the time I walked past her, but she said nothing. And the thing comes is that I'm looking at her going past, and the thing comes is that I look better than she did. So, so, but she didn't say anything. So I will take someone not saying anything, even if they have an idea. But this woman just stared at me, and since she didn't say anything, she either couldn't decide whether I was or I wasn't. But I just left it that. Then on the final bit, on the way back, because it was a Sunday and all the kids were off school, I went past a bus stop that had 4 kids waiting for a bus, and one of them, who wasn't talking to his friends, watched me walk past and tapped against the glass. And I looked and he just looked and then didn't say anything, and I'm walking away, and then one of them shouted something, and I have no idea what the hell it was, because if it was English or even Scottish, I have no idea what he said. So in that case, you expect kids not to be as accepting because they're with their friends and a bit more likely to comment on things. But that day I had really long hair. I had my long hair, which goes down to about there at the back, and so therefore it covered a lot of my face and a lot more of me. But the thing comes is that I got back and I didn't care about whatever them two thought, because they didn't say anything that was, well, the kids didn't say anything that was understandable. So I just left it at that and went back home. Now, I'm going to stop now, because the next video, which I'm going to continue on with, is what happened when I seen my partner, or who is supposed to be my partner, because that's a complete different story, and I will do that in the next video. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video of B&D. Bye.